Okay, moving on. League of California Cities. That's coming up real quickly. We have some positions that have been recommended by the league to either oppose or support issues that are out there. There are so many that are just amazing. I'm not sure if maybe some of them have actually passed or what's going on with that. And I think we have to appoint a person for the voting, which is, oh, wait a minute, that's at the end of the year conference for another one. I'm the delegate on this, voting delegate. Who's going to be the alternate?
Mayor, we've already turned that into League of California Cities.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I may not have been here.
Right.
That's right. No, I was trying to go. I didn't hear that. I was out of the state. That's right.
As mayor, you're the delegate, and Vice Mayor
Sorry,
Goodball is
could not remember.
an alternate, and also Councilmember Buckland are alternates.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I remember seeing that report, but I wasn't here, and so I don't remember the thing on that. There are some resolutions here. Resolutions are the League of California Cities calling upon the governor and legislator to enter into discussion with the league and other public safety stakeholders to identify and implement strategies that will reduce the unintended negative impacts of existing criminal law. We have a guy that has to do with law here, two of them. So your thoughts, please, both of you, if you...
And through the mayor, you know, I think it would be great if at League we could get Gavin Newsom and Jerry Brown in the same room and find out what some of their illegitimate thoughts are regarding different legalization, different parameters where individuals are being released into the public, where they are free to murder police officers, to shoot police officers. As the most recent incident injured two California Highway patrolmen and killed a Sacramento County deputy. You know, I can't speak loud enough to this. The legislature itself needs to gain a backbone and present to the governor, and our state needs to our voters need to take a position to back a strong legislature that takes the criminal element and deals with them in a way that is consistent with federal law and yet incarcerates those that need to be left incarcerated for a duration of time that lack the ability to be rehabilitated through any other process that may have been conjured up in a legislator's mind and presented to the public with some logical argument that is failed to date. So I strongly stand behind a resolution that sends a direction that we're not going to take these laws. They need to reverse direction and steer the ship in the right direction. Reverse the propellers and steer it the right direction. We need to get turned around 180 degrees and take this serious, or California is going to fall off the abyss into criminality.
Thank you for your comments. I cannot disagree with that and will not. My son, as a Sacramento County Sheriff Deputy, was a good friend of the officer. So he's not doing well on that one. I have a lot of friends actually from down there that are very upset. And then resolution number 2, unless you want to make a comment. Ditto?
I don't mind. It would just be exactly the same as eloquently expressed by Councilman Buckland. I like the fact that you summed it up exactly. We are going in the complete opposite direction that we need to be going. 180 degrees wrong.
Absolutely.
Let's take a hard line. The desert's a big place, plenty of room for a lot more prisons, in my opinion. And I think about that every time I go to a funeral, which I will be doing on Thursday down in Sacramento. It's unconscionable to me how that's not how anyone
shouldn't
would
have
think
been
that
out.
would be a good idea.
Anyway,
I could go
thank you.
on and I'll get emotional if I do, so I'm not gonna.
Okay, then now I move on to Resolution 2 of the League of California Cities supporting legislation amending Government Code Section 38611 to clarify the definition of local control, providing broad statutory authority for local officials to determine emergency service levels and direct emergency medical response within their jurisdictions. This is one that I really am not heavily up to date on, since it's not my committee that I'm on at the League of Cities. So,
Mr. Mayor, just for background, we did have Chiefs Daly and Landon review both of these, and they did concur with the league's direction on both of these. And as I recall, Chief Daly is in the audience in case you want him to expound upon that. But, you know, this is a local control issue, and he felt strongly that that needs to be retained by local jurisdictions and not by
I think we
someone else.
all want local control, which has not been a good thing happening within the state of California this year. It's been pretty much everything has been taking away local control. So we must support keeping that within our community.
And through the mayor, just a comment I'd like to make is our great four-term governor, Jerry Brown, used the term in the last election, 6 years ago, used the term that he wanted to return local control to California, to its cities and everything. So I don't want a confusion on local control on this issue and statutory issues versus his taking money away from jurisdictions and putting it into the state coffers to tell the cities go fend for yourself. That was his concept of local control. So I just want to make it perfectly clear
His record.
that his position 6 years ago was to take money from us with that concept. This would be to gain back the actual authorities required to be able to do our jobs. Am I correct, Chief? Should have asked you.
Councilman Buckland, you are correct. This is old legislation back in the 50s, which kind of defined what local jurisdictions would do regarding the fire service and as far as EMS service in their community. It's outdated legislation. Some of the state has an idea of how those services should be provided. This legislation puts the decision-making back at our local level, so I can bring to the council and to the city manager what we think is best for our community and provide that level of service versus someone else telling us how to do it.
I like it. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay. So we will be at the League of California Cities conference, some of us, I'm not sure how many, 13th, 14th, and 15th. We'll be voting on these. This is in Sacramento. So we'll be down there fighting for the communities there. And I think